Welcome back once again to the 78 K5 Blazer. Today is the day we've all been waiting for. If you followed this project, you know it has thrown us some curveballs, and if you haven't followed this project, here's what you missed.
It's our job to try and get this thing going.
Yay. It's gonna run.
I wish it sounded better than that.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
I won't throw a bunch of parts in it until we know that the actual engine is okay. So we're going to start off by doing a compression check on it.
Try it again. Alright. Yeah, it's not doing anything.
There's a chance that we'll take this off and just find a valve that's stuck down. So, or there's that scenario. This rocker is completely come off. So most likely the exhaust valve is stuck open.
We still got nothing.
Nothing?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, no. We spent hours trying to fix that, get that valve to close. I know we've got it closing now, but it's still not sealing, so I promise we will get it running good at some point. Oh no, valve's bent. Every time we work on this Blazer, something weird happens. We got the head off of it, we take a look, and it's got a bent exhaust valve. You can see where it come into contact on the top of the piston. You can see those little marks right there, the shiny marks, and it smacked it right there. Everything we've done to this thing has been kind of strange, but that's why we love working on this stuff. Every time you do something to them, you learn something new doing it. So when we last left off on this, we had just pulled the cylinder head off and found the bent valve. And to fix this thing, I bought a new valve for it. The valve seat, it looked okay. So I put a new valve in it, used some lapping compound, lapped that valve and checked it. It holds pressure now, so that's what we want. We also put all new valve guide seals in the head, so it'll probably have one side of the head or one side of the engine that doesn't burn oil, hopefully, through the valve guides, and it was easier to do it that way with it off. So when I clean these things off, I do it all with a razor blade. It doesn't look clean, but it is clean. I do it with a brake clean and a razor blade. You can use a plastic one if you are worried about using a regular razor blade. But, I mean, it's labor intensive. I sit there and I scrape it clean. But when you run your finger across it, you can feel any little imperfection with your finger. Even though it's got a finish in it that doesn't look quite right, it is clean. Okay? I've done the same thing with the engine. I had rags laid in the valley, the lifter valley. I pulled them out. I vacuumed it all. So I'm gonna clean the surface of the engine block off one more time with some brake clean to make sure it's dry, and we're gonna get the cylinder head bolted back onto this thing. So that's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna go through all the steps that it takes to put this thing back together and get it running good for once finally. So at least she's got a wrench.
Yeah, she's
Finally some help around here.
Yeah.
That'll be nice. One other thing, the cylinder head bolts, okay? I went through each one of them with a 7/16 tap, cleaned the threads out. If you don't have a tap, at least take one of the old cylinder head bolts, clean it up real good, and start running it through each one of them, and make sure the threads are nice and clean on them. So basically we're ready to put the gasket on and set the cylinder head down on it. Make sure you got both your dowels. So I like Felpro Permatorque gaskets for these. Don't really need to do anything other than make sure you got good surfaces that it goes on. It doesn't get any other kind of extra silicone or anything.
You want to make sure you take the cardboard off also.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you don't want the cardboard on there.
Yeah, you get a better seal without it actually. So.
Right. You might notice, it's got some holes in them, so for water to pass through, coolant passages. So, and some will say, which side they want up or down. So look them over really well. Okay, so we can put the cylinder head on. Come on. Okay. All right, so I'll hand you each one of these rockers again.
Okay.
And just keep them in order. All right, so for most any cylinder head that you do, you're going to replace the cylinder head bolt. These are Felpro. It's a pretty big company. You might have heard of them. Have you ever heard of them?
Felt Pro? Do they make things out of felt?
No, it's Felpro. F-E-L-P-R-O. Okay.
Felt Pro.
Yeah.
Is that like a craft store?
Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm done. You do it. Okay.
Okay.
So I read the instructions already, which I highly recommend doing. These go in. Each one of these head bolts on a small block Chevy goes into a water jacket, so it already has Teflon sealant on each one of them. But we're going to take and put just a little layer of fastener lubricant, some ARP fastener lubricant. So when it torques down, it's got a good torque where it's rubbing against the head. So it just makes it, torques it down a little more even. So Emily's going to do that while I put each one of them in its place. So. Set that one up for 25.
Sure.
What do you think the next step will be?
What are we going for?
What do you mean, what are we going for? Are we going for speed or?
No, what's the final torque on it?
Oh, well, it gets 25, 45, and 65 in, 3 steps, I guess. But after that, I'm talking, what do you want to do next?
We drop the push rods in. Could we put the intake on?
Yep.
Sweet.
That's what we'll do.
Awesome.
That way the silicone will get that curing up. So we'll have everything that's got to be siliconed at all. It'll all be done. So I'm just drawing them down right now. We'll start the first pass here in a second with the torque wrench. So this is set 25?
Yep.
Okay. All right, so first pass around, torquing down the cylinder head. You start with the very center bolt, and you basically just make a big circle all around the thing. So you're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17. Here, I'll let you do it. Give me a break. Yep, let's go in a big circle.
Circle. A circle. In here like a little troll person. So.
I've never seen it done like this. Oh man, wait until we do the final torque.
Oh boy. Nope. That was fun.
You want to do the final torque?
Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14,
Okay.
17. All right.
Okay. If I was doing one that was real complicated, this one's really not, but like I would put a little ink mark on each one of them when I knew I got the final one. You know, you want to put the push rods in? I'll hand them to you.
Sure.
Or you want to do it from outside here?
Oh, I'll just do it from here one I can reach. Anything in it?
Number 4?
4? Yes, we're very familiar with number 4.
5?
5,
6?
6,
7?
7,
8.
number 8.
Now these, they do say this side up.
Yes.
Okay, so pay attention to that. What do we do with these?
Throw them in the trash.
Yes, throw them away. And again, Felpro, not Felt Pro.
That reminds me, I'm almost out of hot glue
Okay,
and sequins.
read the instructions.
Okay.
Don't throw this away though. That's a distributor seal. So you put gasket material on this side, and I'll do it on the engine.
Okay, dokie. Cool.
That's why they invented aluminum manifolds. There is a torque spec for these, but I'm not going to use it. I like to crank them down. I put some silicone on the bolt to seal them.
On the threads?
Yep, the threads. I don't want to be corrected.
Well,
I will not be
I'm
corrected.
just saying, don't put it on the top and it's expected to seal.
Yeah. Oh, look at all the silicone squished out of there.
So when you tighten them down by hand like that, like, how do you know when you get it tight enough? Like, is there like a unit of measure that you use with your arm strength, or
No.
is it like right there? That's probably like what, 40 ears of corn? How many corns is that?
I'm gonna say that's a Nebraska joke.
Yeah.
It's not 40, it's 30. It's 30 corns. Alright, so now I got some leverage on it, see that? Now I can get some real corn. That's 60 corns.
That's 60 corns. Holy smokes. I'll try this at home, kids.
That's it. So the intake's on. We're at the point. We got the cylinder head on. We got the intake on. So we got the rockers on. We want to put the distributor in now. After I cleaned everything up, I put the engine on top dead center. Number one cylinder, top dead center. So now we'll drop the distributor in, and then I won't have to find top dead center again after we roll it over to do valve lash for the rocker arms. This is not the distributor that came off this truck. This is a fairly new one that I had sitting around here that we're going to donate to the BLAZER. It's new enough that I know that the advance works the way it's supposed to on it. Worked perfectly on the truck we took it off of. So at this point, we're going to drop it in. I want to set this as not the number one cylinder. So I'll just remember that it's right next to the electrical plug right there. Perfect. So when I set it in the hole, that's kind of where I want it to line up. Okay, the gasket on it. Oh, how is it going to drop in there perfect the first time? Okay. Huh. And that hardly ever happens too. It just dropped right in its spot. So it goes on the crankshaft or on the camshaft, and then it's got the drive on it for the oil pump. It usually doesn't line right up with the drive for the oil pump, but this time it did, which is great. The distributor hold down. This thing. Okay. Goes right here, sits right on top of the distributor.
What are you doing? Hey. That's not helpful.
That was a good box, dude.
Got you a wrench so you could be helpful.
I'm not going to tighten it all the way down. I'm just going to make it snug so I can still move the distributor okay. It won't move around on its own, so it's just a little tight, but not a lot.
So how many corns is that?
2 corns.
2 corns.
So now Emily's going to adjust valve lash while I go in the house and take a nap.
Okay. We'll see how it goes.
On this engine and on any engine, you could look this up and you could put it on top dead center, number 1 cylinder, and it'll tell you, it'll give you a list of which of these where the valves are closed. Okay, and you could go and tighten all these and do valve lash on them, adjust them, and then you rock the engine over another 300 or. No, is it 360? Yeah, 360. And so then it's on top dead center compression stroke, right?
Yeah.
Then it gives you the other ones to adjust, but I'll show you the way to do it on any engine, and you don't need to know any of that stuff. It might take just a pinch longer, but really, if you think about, you know, the amount of time it takes to look that up and figure that out, that this is a pretty simple way to do it. So all these are completely loose. I'm just going to do one of them, and then I'll have Emily do the rest of them. So valve lash, 0 valve lash is when that rocker has next to no play between it and the top of the valve stem. So you're gonna take and tighten it down, and you can see how much play there is there. Okay, it's getting close. It's getting to where there's almost no lash. You hear that? There's some lash there. And lash is just a measurement. It's a clearance, an amount of clearance that there is between the valve stem and that rocker. And right now it's got just the tiniest little bit. Okay, you can also tell by twisting on the push rod. When it has 0 lash, that push rod will stop rotating. I mean, you can rotate it, but it gets hard to rotate. There, it rotates real easy. I'm barely putting any kind of effort into it, and then all of a sudden it stops. So that, at that point right there, that's 0 lash. Okay, I'm gonna do this one the exact same. It doesn't matter if that cam is up on top of one of the lobes or not, because what we're doing is we're just not over tightening anything. So if you over tighten them, that's a problem. If it's not tight enough, that's fixable. Isn't gonna hurt anything. So we're getting close, okay? I'm gonna do it with the push rod again. Make sure my socket's not pushing on the top of the, okay, and it stopped. I'm doing just the tiniest little bit of effort to rotate that, and it stops. I can still rotate it now, but it takes me a little bit of force. Okay? Make sense?
Yep.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go through And we're going to do that to each one of these. Then we're going to we'll put a socket on the front of the crankshaft bolt, and we're going to rotate the crankshaft maybe 10, 15 degrees, okay? And then we're going to go through, some of them are going to be loose again, and then we're going to do the exact same thing and check them all. And we're going to do that 2 rotations of the crankshaft, and after that, then we know that we're at 0 lash.
Cool.
Okay?
Yep.
That's probably the most fun I have, is watching you climb into that. I'm trying to demonstrate that this is so simple that a small child can do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh. Okay, so it's getting tight right there.
Is your socket pushing on the...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure
Okay.
is. Okay.
So, see, it just dropped back down on it again.
But I can just keep tightening.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
now.
No. Okay.
Okay, now I'm getting close.
Twist the push rod. Leave your socket on. Okay. You feel how easy that is to turn?
Mm-hmm.
Slowly turn that thing without it pushing down on the rocker until you feel that thing stop.
Okay. You feel it touch there.
You feel the push rod stop moving?
Okay.
Yeah, it stops. Okay.
Okay.
Now you feel it, right?
Yeah.
What do you think would happen if you got one too tight?
Unless I way over tightened it, it would be okay. Like it would stick the valve open, but it wouldn't
Right.
cause
So,
damage.
right. So you have no compression.
Yeah.
Right. This is where I think that somebody over tightened it.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so you're confident they're all 0 lash?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to make a mark on the pulley so I can see when I come back around because the timing mark is straight down there and I don't want to watch straight down there, so I can just watch for that mark. We're going to rotate the engine over. So I'm just going to move it a few degrees, okay? So go across now, see if any of them are loosened up.
It's a little looser.
That one's a lot looser, right?
Yep.
Okay, so the ones that are a lot looser, go ahead and adjust that one. It's a lot easier if it's sitting on the engine stand.
Yeah.
That one's definitely loose. Alright, so I'm going to rotate the crankshaft another 10, 15 degrees maybe.
Okay.
I'm gonna rotate it some more. All right, try them again. No. That one's a little loose.
A bit. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna rotate it again.
Alright.
Rotating.
Rotating.
Rotating. Alright, try it again. You're at the point right now, you can, there you go. Just grab them all real quick and give them a good rattle, see if they...
Nope.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Alright. Alright, again. Don't good. Good. Okay, give them a good wiggle. See if they move. That one's a little loose, right?
Yeah. That one might be a little loose.
I'm almost back around there completely, okay?
Okay.
But I'm not gonna go all the way because we know where we adjusted them at before, you know, with the rotor pointed right about there. So now let's check them one last time.
Yep.
Okay. So these are hydraulic. So each one of them is going to get a quarter of a turn, like that. So go ahead and do all of them. Quarter of a turn. And then I always like to I look at how much of the stud is sticking out on top of each one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they're not going to be exactly the same, but if you see one that's like really, really wacky, maybe you want to take an extra look at it, but these all look real good. Well, that's done.
Yeah.
Let's put the ground on the back before we forget that.
It's on the very corner, right?
Yeah. Things left to do. Spark plugs, put the distributor cap on, ohm the wires out, make sure they're okay.
Okay.
Spark plug gap, and I gotta do the studs on this.
Oh, okay. Do you want to do the spark plugs after you get the manifold on?
Yeah. Yeah, otherwise you'll break them.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do next?
I guess the next thing then would be to get the studs out of there and get that on, and then.
Okay. These exhaust manifold studs, they're not gonna cut it, so we gotta put some new ones in. Do it now instead of doing it after we install it. So make it a little easier. We're gonna heat them up, manifold up cherry red, and snap a vice grip onto it, and pull each one of them out. So. Grab that.
No. Don't lick that.
Put the rest of it. So we'll let it cool down, and then I'll run a bottoming tap into each of those and install some new studs in it. Let me see, we put the distributor cap on. All right.
Yeah, before we put everything in front of it.
Yeah. There. Remember, that's number, I got that as number 1 now. That one. Okay. That to the battery. All right, set the carburetor on it.
Where's your wrench? Go find your wrench and you can put the carburetor on. Okay? Go find it.
The pesky cable. Gonna need that. This thing's starting to look like an engine again. Alright, a person should torque the carburetor down, but I'm not too worried about this old quadrajet.
So how many corns do you use for a quadrajet?
30.
30 corns?
30 corns.
Alright. Yeah, for our viewers who may not be in the US, if you're not familiar with Nebraska, there's a lot of corn. It's corn country.
Oh, the choke's gonna work again too. I cleaned the crossover passages out. Now it'll heat up that manifold better and crossover will work. So, yeah, we could put spark plugs in it. Fire it right up. Spark plugs and wires is all we got left. Could do it without the exhaust manifold. It'd sound like the Ford.
Yeah, really.
Alright, we're gonna put the exhaust manifold on next. You might notice there's a fairly new starter on down there. I had one of those sitting around here. The other one, when we were doing the compression check, it would smoke. So I just put that one on there. So I'm going to put the exhaust manifold on, which is no big deal. It's pretty straightforward. And she's going to gap the spark plugs and start putting spark plugs in it. I didn't spray WD-40 on anything yet. Here we go. First WD-40 squirt.
That's gonna smell good later.
Yeah. Look better?
Very nice. High five.
exhaust manifold.
Yay.
Oh, are you okay with me putting the valve cover on? I'm gonna double check it after I'm done. Or... All right. Chrome is installed. All done.
All done.
No. So you took the good socket.
Mm-hmm.
8 ohms per foot. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Is the max.
Okay.
But if you get one that measures around the max,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of want to look at them. But each one of them, from this end to that end, it's 10.45 K ohms.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fine.
Okay.
All right. I don't know, was it still the diesel?
2 more wires left here and I'll go up front. Nope. Alrighty.
Alternator. Or you got another one to tighten?
Yeah, this one done here.
All right. No, tighten it.
I'm doing it.
Tighten it. So those two are tight?
No.
Is that one tight?
Do I do it tight, tight, tight?
Yeah, tight, tight, tight. Oh, too tight.
Think so. Too many corns?
Too many coins. There you go. Put that in there. For a little bit of tension. Okay, it's stripped.
Cool.
Does the belt still feel tight?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
3.
Okay. 8, 4, 3.
Yep.
Should go around the back.
Yep. Make it go like that, or
Yeah, that would be good. If I did it like that, I could loop them here.
It's a lot better than the mess that it was. Oh, we're all done except for I gotta raise it up and hook up the exhaust manifold.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just gotta sit overnight.
Let the
Well,
silicone set up.
yep. Then we'll start it in the morning and tune it up.
Sweet. Okay, so engine is put back together. We're gonna let it set up overnight, let our silicone set up. Tomorrow morning we will dump in some oil and some coolant and we should be ready to fire this thing up. We'll have to tune the carb and set the timing, but hopefully it's a happy little truck again. Muffin agrees.
So it's the next day. We let this thing, all of our gasket materials sit up overnight, so that's all cured. We said at one point on this that we were going to make it run nice, and that's what we're going to do right now. So I just added coolant and oil to it, and it's ready to fire up. I'm going to start it up. I've got most of the vacuum lines all capped off. So once we bring it up to operating temperature, I'll adjust the timing on it, and then I'll start working on adjusting the carburetor on it. So at that point, call her good. So let's see what happens. All right, so I've got a vacuum gauge hooked up to it. We'll go and turn it over and see if it fires up. If it does, we'll run it up to operating temperature. I'll adjust the timing with the vacuum gauge real quick once it starts. So, all right, give it a shot.
Here we go.
Yep. Yep, go ahead.
All right, well, we got this thing running great, and no job is complete without a proper test drive. So let's go have some fun.
All right, will it start?
Will it start? Whoa. Project has been a lot of fun. And thank you to all of our new subscribers. We've gotten several in the last couple months, and we really appreciate it. That really helps us out. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, ring the little bell so you get a notification when we upload a new video, and we will catch you next time.